It's the dream of every cricketer, the ultimate glory. Few manage to keep their date with destiny. But for many, it's been heartbreaks and a cross to bear. The Holy Grail is here in India. I'm Rupha Ramani, and Firstpost brings you the ringside view. We bring you the Cup of Dreams. Cricket World Cup coverage like never before.
It's over! He's done it again! Unbelievable!
Oh, straight into the roof of the net.
Nice one.
Straight down the middle. So a good performance from both teams here today.
Hi, I'm Rupha Ramani, and you're watching Firstpost. Now, Kolkata was every bit that I had hoped it would be. But it's always good to be back. Today's show is about teams behaving like champion sides. And we're going to talk about two Indian sides, different sporting disciplines. The Indian cricket team showed who was boss when they absolutely thrashed South Africa, the number 2 team on the points table at the Cricket World Cup. This happened last night at the Eden Gardens. Kohli made a record-breaking 100, a historical one, and that too on his birthday. And Ravindra Jadeja stole the spotlight this time, returning the favour and bringing the Proteas to one of their worst defeats in World Cup history. And over in Ranchi, the Indian women's hockey team played like a champion side to avenge the average showing in the Asian Games, losing to China, exacted their revenge and lifted the Asian Champions Trophy. All that and more heading your way. But first, the headlines from around the world of sports in Sports 360. In tennis, world number 1 Novak Djokovic's reign continues. He wins the Paris Masters last night. With this win, Djokovic has 97 career titles under his belt. He eased past Grigor Dimitrov 6-4, 6-3 in straight sets. This is his record, 7th title at the ATP Masters 1000 event. Meanwhile, Rohan Bopanna and Matthew Ebden narrowly missed out, losing in the Paris Masters final. The victory would have landed them at the top of the ATP men's doubles team rankings. The third seeds lost 2-6, 7-5, 7-10 to Mexican-French duo of Santiago Gonzalez and Eduard Roger Vasea. Sri Lanka, once a cricket powerhouse, is now in shambles. Its entire cricket board has been sacked. This comes after the squad's poor performance at the ICC 2023 World Cup. The country's sports minister said an interim committee headed by Arjuna Ranatunga will be in charge. And the team's woes doesn't seem to end with infamous records. All-rounder Angelo Matthews became the first player to be timed out in international cricket. Matthews was dismissed after failing to make it to the pitch on time. This was due to some issues with his helmet. This happened during Sri Lanka's match against Bangladesh in New Delhi. Matthews had to depart without facing a single delivery. Another fitness concern spoils Australia's World Cup dreams. Steve Smith has said he's suffering from vertigo. This comes just ahead of Australia's must-win match against Afghanistan. Smith has showed similar symptoms on several occasions before. The Australia versus Afghanistan match is scheduled in Mumbai tomorrow. And on to Formula 1 racing, where Max Verstappen has done it yet again, securing his 17th win in a record-breaking season. Red Bull's 3-time world champion claimed pole, resisting early pressure from Lando Norris to triumph in an accident and incident-prone Sao Paulo Grand Prix. Verstappen came home 8.277 seconds ahead of McLaren's Norris. Now, Kolkata has been special to the South African cricket team. It was at the Eden Gardens that a Clive Rice-led Proteas side made their return to international cricket post-apartheid in their first test appearance against an Azharuddin's India. Rice later would describe how he and his team were welcomed and applauded. Fast forward to decades afterwards, and the South African side was shown no mercy by a tad partisan crowd and a fiery Indian bowling unit. Now, I watched one of the most humbling, magnificent displays in international cricket last night. It is safe to say now that India has shown its complete dominance over just about every side in this tournament so far. First things first, we have to mention the feat of Virat Kohli. Batting on that track was not as easy as he made it to look. 49 ODI hundreds, equaling his legendary predecessor Sachin Tendulkar for most ODI tons, has been incredible. And to do it on his birthday at the very same venue where he scored his very first one-day 100, while some scripts are just written perfectly. The celebration by Kohli himself was rather somber, giving us the impression that it was anything but perfect. Didn't even crack a smile, possibly just telling himself more than the rest that it was just another 100. The relief was surely there. Fans too didn't linger on that moment for too long because there was a match to be completed. In one of the earlier matches, one of the commentators joked with Virat about taking the spotlight away from Ravindra Jadeja. Well, this time India's bowling unit did just that. Jadeja, the star in act, as they completely took the spotlight away from the brilliant 100 by just their sheer class. They bundled out what is arguably the best batting side so far in the tournament for 83 runs. If Bumrah won't get you, Siraj will. If Siraj doesn't, Shami will. If he doesn't, Jadeja will dismiss you. And even if he fails, there's always Kuldeep Yadav waiting in the wings. Former England cricketer Michael Vaughan saying it a little more aptly. But these are 5 proper wicket-taking bowlers who can derail even the best. It's after years that India is fielding a bowling side that has struck fear in every single batting lineup. Usually in 50 overs, there's often a tendency to get a little lax, prompting the batters to go after that rather one bowler or the 6th one. With this Indian attack, there is no sense of respite, no relief. 2 things to note. Firstly, them being aware of the lack of a 6th bowler with Hardik being ruled out, thereby not just losing out that bowler, but also a massive striker of the ball. Second, even after putting South Africa on the mat with a super initial 10 overs, there was no letting up. They course-corrected from what they felt was going easy with the Sri Lankan game, where they didn't close out the match as quickly as they should have. So even with 5 to 6 wickets down and the writing pretty much on the wall at Kolkata of the impending defeat, Rohit and his men continued to go in hard to thrash what many considered the next best contender to the World Cup title. Now, I was witness to this at the beautiful city of Kolkata and wanted to bring you a sense of what that city means in terms of its culture, its cricket, the significant moments that make this city special. The tangled zigzag structure that kind of symbolizes the complexity of this city. I can see the yellow cabs whizzing past and feel the bridge thundering below me as they do, the rippling river flowing below, and the bustling people going to and from their workplace. It all tells you exactly where we are. Now, after traversing many parts of the country in our Cup of Dreams journey, we are finally here at the City of Joy, Kolkata. Now, Kolkata, or Calcutta like it was earlier called, is a very interesting city. It somehow managed to strike the right chord when it comes to balancing the cultural and the modern vibe. So you will see certain crowd here that's young, cool, quirky, as well as those who've lived through the years as the city was developing. But what really strikes me about the city is how mad and chaotic it's always been. Yes, it's got the influences of different cultures over the decades, whether it was that of the Delhi Sultanate, the Mughal dynasty, French and Portuguese settlements, and of course, the East India Company when it took over. But this city has managed to stand out from many cities in the country purely because of a certain character that it has managed to develop over the decades. Now, I can't really not talk about the Chai Adda sessions, where a lot of people would gather around steaming cups of hot chai to discuss just about everything under the sun, whether it's politics, art, culture, socio-economic impact, and of course, sports. So if you're in the city, you better know a little bit about everything. Now, we can't speak about Kolkata and culture and leave the cricket out of it. It has a very rich cricket tradition, and I'm standing at a part of it. This is the oldest cricket club in the country. I'm standing at the Calcutta Cricket Club. And the most unique aspect here, there's a football club adjoining it, the CCFC. This is one of those few cities in the country that enjoys an equal amount of fervour for both these sporting disciplines. There is no favourite child. There is enough passion to fuel both cricket and football equally. But getting back to this ground, it was first established in 1792. That's a legacy that's 230 years and counting. And speaking of legacies, we've got to speak about that one iconic moment that this city celebrated and cherishes even till today, back in 2001 at the Eden Gardens. I'm speaking of the current Indian coach Rahul Dravid standing tall and defying the mighty Aussies in his partnership with VVS Lakshman. An unforgettable moment for not just Indian cricket history but also world cricket. And that's what this Indian current squad truly symbolizes. It's defiant, it's relentless and in your face. All these small victories aren't what that matters truly. Their goal is reaching November 19th. Now, every city has its own flavor. Its very own food trail that's so intrinsic to it. Like filter coffee in Chennai, the neer dosa in Bengaluru, the misal pav in Pune. We had the snacky treats in Ahmedabad, the kebabs of Lucknow. But when it comes to Kolkata, the only way to someone's heart here is through its desserts. Now there are so many to choose from, but if I have to pick one, I'll have to go with the king of desserts here, the mishti doi or the sweet yogurt. Now it's creamy, it's rich, and every time you take a bite of it, it's somehow always better than the last time you had it. Much like the king of the Indian batting lineup. Every single time you watch him play, somehow his performance is always better than his last. Now it doesn't matter really if he does go on to overhaul Sachin Tendulkar's record of 49 ODI hundreds in this World Cup. Because what he's already doing and contributing to that Indian dressing room in such a high pressure tournament is his infectious energy, his positivity that he brings to the dressing room, enjoying everyone's success as they are his. And what a way then to celebrate his birthday in a city like Kolkata, a vibrant one filled with joy. Just like he continues to impress us tirelessly, I'm going to get impressed by this Mishti Doi.
Hello, I am from Mumbai, supporting Virat Kohli and Indian team today, and wishing him all the very best and happy birthday to the entire to Virat Kohli.
I think it's going to be a great match, and we wish Virat a very happy birthday.
Wish Virat Kohli a happy birthday. I hope he will perform today again along with Rohit and put a fabulous show for us.
I'm an Indian fan, and I love Virat Kohli because I like his batting and I like his skills. Happy birthday Virat Kohli. Happy birthday to Virat Kohli.
I think we come to see Virat Kohli. So happy birthday Chiku.
We are all excited for Virat's birthday today, and we are supporting Team India today, and Team India will rock.
Birthday to Virat Kohli.
Kohli, Kohli,
Kohli, Kohli, Kohli, Kohli, Kohli, Kohli. V for Virat.
Now we're travelling through Kolkata and just to soak in the sights and sound of this very vibrant city. And I've chosen an interesting mode of transport. Yes, of course, the yellow cab was a temptation. That was an option, but we decided to go for the resilient, not so speedy, but elusive tram. It sort of symbolizes what this city represents. The chaos and that hustle and bustle that keeps everyone just going and chugging along. And speaking of resilience, we have to speak about Mohammed Shami, the local boy here in some sense. Just his inclusion in that Indian pace attack has transformed the entire dynamics and the look of the Indian bowling units. His contribution has sort of sparked a dominant side to that bowling unit. Sure, Jasprit Bumrah is the undoubted leader of the attack, but just the presence of Mohammed Shami lifts the look and the tenacity of that bowling unit.
As India's quest for glory continues at the World Cup, a pacer has come under the limelight for his electrifying performances in the World Cup so far. We are speaking of the Kolkata boy Mohammed Shami, a lethal bowler who's smashing records. If Hardik Pandya's absence was seen as a setback for India, Shami is making sure that there's no void in the team's balance as far as the bowling department is concerned. He can be counted on when his team needs him the most. After his fifer against Sri Lanka and Mumbai, he has edged past Zaheer Khan and Javagal Srinath to become India's highest wicket taker in ODI World Cup history with 45 wickets in just 14 matches. And after India's match against South Africa, Shami has picked up a total of 47 wickets, and his name is now etched in the annals of the Cricket World Cup. Shami was brought in when India played New Zealand in Dharamshala. India had already won 4 matches by then at the World Cup. What followed when he stepped onto the field thereafter was his fury. Here's a look at how his dream World Cup started. He annihilated the Kiwis and was named the player of the match. Then came the defending champions, who were at the behest of his carnage. India had a wobbly start with just 229 runs in 50 overs. But Shami ran riot in bundling out England's top order batters. Even Ben Stokes couldn't hold back the praise. He called him the bowler of the tournament. The latest in his hit list was 2 of South Africa's top in-form batters, Rassie van der Dussen, the rock of the lineup, and the explosive Aiden Markram. It's safe to say that this is Mohammed Shami's World Cup. In the quest of that extra all-rounder to elongate the batting, India had to leave Shami out of the scheme of things initially. Shami's World Cup figures are a testament to the fact that there is no way he can be away from the thick of it, that he is a critical asset for India. He has conceded 112 runs in all the 4 matches he has played. If there was a textbook definition of a wicket-taking machine, it would be him. Shami's journey to glory has been filled with twists and turns. He hails from a remote village in the Indian state of Uttar Pradesh and started training when he was just 15. At a time when everyone wanted to be a batter, Shami would take a cricket ball to bed and dream of becoming a bowler. Later, he moved to Kolkata, where he toiled hard and honed his skills, and then went on to play for the Bengal cricket team. Injuries waylaid him during his career, but he always came back stronger every time he was down. And now, he's looking more dangerous than ever. His accuracy and how he's used the swinging conditions to his favour has been the hallmark of his performance. Beyond these figures lie his unwavering commitment. Another thrilling chapter awaits as this World Cup is far from over.
Now, throughout this Cup of Dreams journey, we've discovered so many fans who have come in to be a part of this World Cup party. But there are some who are a little more than your normal fans. They go that extra mile to just be a part of this festival. Their passion for the sport makes them go beyond what is usual for a fan. These are the super fans.
Sukumar, what is it that you love about cricket? Why is it? What's made that? What's about cricket that makes you so passionate about it?
So entire world knows cricket is our religion, especially in India. So since from school days I used to play cricket and I used to participate for sports, all sports and cultural activities. Actually my dream was to join Indian Army before my elder brother has joined. So I thought I want to do something to my country. So I carry our national flag throughout the world, not only in India, throughout the wherever Team India goes, I follow the team and I will support our Team India.
Sukumar, have you watched a lot of World Cups before this?
Of course, 2019 I was there at England. 2021 I was in Dubai. Last year I was in Australia. So wherever team goes, I keep traveling team. And this banner, especially today, is our legend's birthday. This banner I made it in Dubai. So now again the same banner I'm using on 30th birthday. Then to historical stadium, Kolkata. Always I love to watch match in Kolkata.
What is it about Kolkata that's very special?
Always I love Rasgulla and Mishdohi. But always whenever I come first I tell kya monochi Kolkata and hame tumiko bola bashe Kolkata. But the love and affection the people they give in Kolkata, it is amazing and it's a priceless.
You have to speak about a local boy in some sense, Mohammed Shami. How excited are you to watch someone like him the way he's performed?
Yeah, of course, like entire world knows now, not only our batsman, even fielding, bowling. I think this tournament, especially 2023, will be one of the best tournament in history because we never lost any match. 7 of 7 we won. Now, as a super fan, my big dream is without losing a single game, we have to lift the trophy. 2011, we'll repeat the same cup. And cup is ours. Come on, India!
Is it the first time you're watching cricket at a stadium ever?
Yes. I'm in US for last 20 years. So we don't usually get an opportunity to watch cricket. But every time I make a trip to India, that's the only time the opportunity is there, right? So.
Is it the first time you're watching cricket in India?
Yes. This is first time watching cricket in India, yeah.
What made you come here and how come it didn't happen for so long and then you finally decided?
Yeah, I never had an opportunity, right? I mean, we had World Cup in 2011, but never had the opportunity to make a trip to India. This time it's very special because Team India is doing really great. It's Virat Kohli's birthday, right? And also it's a Diwali time. So it's good for kids to enjoy the Diwali and watch the game at the same time, right? So it's very special.
How did it all work out for you this time? Because I know it's difficult for things like this to happen.
It's very challenging, especially buying the tickets. It's very challenging for like someone like us traveling from New York or abroad. It's very difficult because you can purchase the ticket. You never get an opportunity to buy the ticket. First of all, it's always like never available, right? And then once you buy it, then there is a whole challenge of like shipping the ticket to the home, whether you ship it to abroad or locally. So it's very difficult. I ended up buying ticket 2 times. So we have 6 tickets between 3 of us.
Why do you love the sport? What's the reason for the passion for the sport?
Yeah, I mean, this is the only sport that I grew up watching, playing. Back in US, I mean, I do play county level crickets. I played for 5-6 years. So after that I stopped. But this is the only sport that we love. I love cricket, so I'm here to watch the game, and hopefully it's a good game, you know.
Now our next story brings us to the Eye on Eves segment, where we talk about the Sheroes who display their indomitable spirit. Today we'll talk about the Indian women's hockey team, who have dominated Asia, crowned champions for the second time, overcoming defending champions Japan to win the Asian Champions Trophy title. Now, when they first walked into the tournament, they were anxious and nervous. The entire team, and particularly coach Yannick Schopman, had come under fire after their loss to China in the semi-final of the Asian Games. There was a lot of hurt and anguish that day. The loud crowds in Hangzhou also made it doubly difficult for India to try and overturn an inevitable result. That loss also meant that India will have to take the long route to qualify for the Paris Olympics. But what a comeback this has been, and that too at home. Tears of joy and euphoria reigned through the evening as firecrackers lit up the night sky in Ranchi. The women were excited, holding their hockey sticks high in the air. Right, beautiful scenes there, but no one was happier than Captain Savita Punya.
अभी फिलहाल बहुत अच्छा लग रहा था. आए थे तब थोड़े टेंस भी थे क्योंकि पता था जापान अच्छी टीम है, बट हमें खुद के ऊपर था कि हमें कैसे स्टार्ट करना है. हम उस चीज में बिजी थे, बट जापान ने बहुत अच्छी फाइट दी 3 क्वार्टर तक और टीम ने बहुत अच्छा एफर्ट्स किया. अच्छा खेली टीम काफी. हाँ बिल्कुल, यही था हमारी हॉकी, अटैकिंग हॉकी हमारी स्ट्रेंथ है. और फर्स्ट क्वार्टर में 1 गोल के बाद हम थोड़े से डिफेंसिव हो गए थे. हाफ टाइम में यही बात की थी कि अगेन हमें अटैकिंग हॉकी खेलना है.
Now, there is considerable reason for that added pressure for this bunch to perform in Asia particularly, because this is a platform they have excelled in the past. Their maiden Asian Championship title came in 2016, which was held in Singapore. India successfully beat China back then to clinch the much-deserved title. Yannick was not head coach back then. And then, of course, after a gap comes this second title, and at the very right time. Coach Yannick Schopman, who has been on the hot seat in women's hockey for a while now, was a little more circumspect when asked about the win.
No, you never expect 4-0 in a final. You know it's going to be tough. It was tough, to be honest, because it was 2-0 and then they got the stroke. And you know if they score, then the game is wide open again. They'll probably pull their goalkeeper and let's see. But we did stay on the field mostly today. And I think when Xavi stopped the stroke, we got even more confidence. And then the 3-0 was a bonus and the 4-0 even more so. Yeah, the support here is honestly amazing. We came here, we didn't know what to expect. And I think the first games we were a little bit nervous about it. But now the girls get so much energy and it's so amazing. And I get energy and I'm like, it's fantastic to play here. It really is fantastic. And the crowd has really helped us this tournament.
Now, Yannick took over the reins as the head coach after Chouard Marien left at the end of the Tokyo Olympics in 2021. And the subdued excitement is understandable because the women's hockey team have been having a string of near misses for some time. And even though the Asian Games was the first major tournament that Yannick and Savita were working together on, it has been a project that has been underway for months.
Every tournament counts. But what I do recognize is that the Asian Games is a very big tournament in Asia, in India. The amount of press, the amount of requests the players get, the exposure this tournament has. So you feel in every way, shape and form that it's huge and way bigger than, even the Commonwealth. And of course, the Nations Cup wasn't in that respect a big thing at all. So I think it's more the external things that come into play that makes it a little bit different. And we talked about that as well as a team. How can we just make sure that we stay focused on ourselves and not get too much distraction from outside?
Now let's look at some of the players who will be key for India's next crucial phase, which is to keep this momentum going into the qualifiers that's next year. It has to start with captain Savita Punya. She has been instrumental in the team gaining an edgy look, and a lot of her grit comes from her family that encouraged her to take up her sport, particularly her grandfather. She made it to the national team in 2007 when she was barely 17. The next person we have to talk about is Sangeeta Kumari. She emerged as India's top goal scorer here at the Asian Champions Trophy in Ranchi, scoring 6 goals through the tournament. She is one of the younger members in this national squad. She, in fact, only made her debut in 2022. Next up, we have to speak about Vandana Kattaria, one of the most senior hands in the outfit. Born to a technician in Haridwar, Vandana rose up from the junior squad to make it to the senior team. Vandana is, in fact, was the player of the tournament, of this very tournament, in 2018 edition, the Asian Champions Trophy. Now, there are others like Lalrem Siami, Salima Tete, who are strong and forging a very strong, hungry Indian squad. A set of women who are fighting to reclaim their dominance in women's hockey. They did it with 7 convincing wins in the 7 matches in this very tournament. And they also managed to exact sweet revenge against China in their 3rd match, winning it 2-1. The next pit stop will be the 2024 Paris Olympics qualifier that will be held again in Ranchi in January, a venue that they have now owned with this win. The top 3 teams will make it to the big event in Paris, so there is a lot on the line here in preparation for that big year coming up. Hockey India has also taken a bold and key step in adding a mental conditioning coach to the support staff of the Indian women's team. Peter Haberl will be joining the side. He has had experience with US Rugby, US Water Polo and the USA Hockey women's team. Someone coach Yannick Schopman trusts to shepherd India alongside her in the next phase, which is going to be crucial. The Indian team will have made those small steps in world hockey, but the big leap is yet to be seen, and these champions are gearing up for executing just that. And that's all we have time for on today's show. But before we leave, it's time for what we call the last serve. Here's King Kohli celebrating his birthday. Well, he surely had more than one reason to celebrate. An unforgettable 49th ODI 100 indeed. And those visuals there, the camaraderie, the smiles, that's going to be remembered for a very long time. Quite the memorable weekend in Kolkata. But that's all there is time for here on Firstpost. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you again tomorrow. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.